Right now, at this very moment, there are 5 diesel trucks sitting under fluorescent lights on dealer lots across the country, and nobody is looking at them. Salespeople walk right past them. Online shoppers scroll right by them. And every single one of these trucks has an engine that was designed to run past 300,000 miles without breaking a sweat. Some of them have Cummins power. Some have Duramax. One of them has depreciated so badly that you can pick it up for literally half of what the original owner paid, and the engine has barely gotten broken in. After more than 2 decades of working on diesel trucks, diagnosing them, rebuilding them, and watching people make terrible buying decisions around them, I can tell you with absolute certainty that the used diesel market right now is hiding some of the best deals I have ever seen. And truck number 1 at the end of this list is going to make you angry that you did not know about it sooner. Let us get into it. Number 5. The Ford F-250 Super Duty with the 6.7-liter Power Stroke from 2011 to 2016. Let me tell you something about Ford and diesel engines. Ford's track record with diesels is, to put it politely, inconsistent. The 6.0-liter Power Stroke from 2003 to 2007 was one of the least reliable diesel engines ever put in a production truck. Head gasket failures, injector problems, EGR cooler disasters. It earned Ford a reputation they are still trying to shake. Then came the 6.4-liter, which was marginally better but still plagued with issues. So when Ford released the 6.7-liter Power Stroke in 2011, people were skeptical. And honestly, I do not blame them. But here is what happened. Ford did something they had not done before. They designed and built this engine entirely in-house instead of outsourcing to Navistar, and they got it right. The 6.7-liter Power Stroke 5.8 uses a reverse flow layout where the exhaust exits through the valley of the engine and the intake is on the outside. That is not just an engineering curiosity. It puts the turbocharger closer to the driver, reduces turbo lag, and keeps exhaust heat away from components that do not need it. The result is an engine that commercial fleets have run for hundreds of thousands of miles without significant failures. I had a guy bring in a 2014 F-250 last year with 247,000 miles on it. He was the second owner, and he bought it at 90,000 miles. He wanted me to go through the whole truck and tell him what was coming. I put it on the lift, checked everything, pulled codes, inspected the turbo, looked at the injectors. You know what I found? It needed a serpentine belt, and the front brake pads were getting thin. That was it at 250,000 miles. He looked at me like I was trying to get rid of him. Right now, a 2015 or 2016 F-250 with the 6.7-liter Power Stroke and 80,000 to 100,000 miles is going for roughly $25,000 to $33,000, depending on trim and configuration. That is significant depreciation from what was a $55,000 to $65,000 truck when new. These first-generation 6.7 Power Strokes have proven themselves in the field, and many diesel guys consider them on equal footing with Cummins and Duramax when it comes to long-term reliability. Here is what to watch for when you are shopping. First, check the diesel exhaust fluid system, also called DEF. The diesel exhaust fluid components on these trucks can get finicky after 150,000 miles. The DEF heater and knock sensors are the usual culprits. Budget $800 to $1,200 if they need attention. Second, look at the turbo up pipes. On some early models from 2011 to 2012, the up pipe connections could develop leaks. Listen for any unusual whistling under boost. Third, check the fuel system. Pull the oil cap and smell the oil. If it smells like fuel, the high-pressure fuel pump could be washing the cylinders. This problem is rare on well-maintained trucks, but devastating if neglected. Who should buy this truck? Anyone who needs serious towing capability and wants Ford parts availability at every auto parts store in the country. These trucks are everywhere. Mechanics know them. Parts are cheap and plentiful. If you tow heavy regularly and want something proven, the first-generation 6.7-liter Power Stroke is a no-brainer at these prices. Number 4. The Chevy Silverado 2500 HD with the L5P Duramax from 2017 to 2019. This is the truck that Chevy guys call a future collector, and honestly, they might be right. The 2017 to 2019 Silverado HD was the last generation paired with a legendary 6-speed Allison transmission, and that combination is something special. The L5P Duramax is a 6.6-liter V8 turbo diesel that makes 445 horsepower and 910 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers matter, but what matters more is how the engine achieves them. The L5P addressed virtually every weakness of the previous LML Duramax. It has a stronger block, improved fuel injection, and a redesigned emission system that is significantly more reliable than earlier generations. And the Allison 6-speed automatic behind it is not just good, it is the gold standard. That transmission has been running in commercial trucks, school buses, and military vehicles for decades. It is overbuilt for this application, which means it barely works hard behind the L5P. I serviced a 2018 Silverado 2500 HD LTZ last spring with 260,000 miles on it. The owner and his wife had loaded a slide-in truck camper and done 2 separate 10,000-mile road trips across the country. Still on the original transmission, still on the original turbo. They told me it was the most reliable vehicle they had ever owned and asked me what they should replace it with when the time came. I told them it was not time yet. Pricing on these is where it gets interesting. A 2019 Silverado 2500 HD work truck with the Duramax is going for around $23,000 to $28,000 right now. An LT or LTZ with 60,000 to 80,000 miles runs in the $34,000 to $42,000 range. That is a significant drop from the original manufacturer suggested retail prices that pushed $55,000 to $70,000 depending on trim. The Chevy badge does not hold value the way a Ram or Ford does in the diesel market, and that is your advantage. Inspection checklist for this truck. First, check for the engine block heater cord recall. General Motors recalled certain models from 2017 to 2019 because the block heater cord or its terminal connections could short circuit. Make sure that has been addressed. Second, listen for injector tick at cold start. Some early L5P trucks developed a louder than normal injector knock. It is usually not harmful, but if it persists after warm-up, get it looked at. Pay attention to the injector noise during the first minute of running. Third, check the diesel exhaust fluid pump. Same story as the Ford. The emissions equipment is the most likely failure point, not the engine itself. Budget $600 to $900 for a diesel exhaust fluid pump replacement if it has not been done already. If you want a diesel heavy-duty truck with a powertrain that was literally designed for commercial abuse, paired with the most overbuilt automatic transmission in the segment, and you can get it for $20,000 to $30,000 less than a comparable new truck. This is your play. Number 3, the Ram 2500 with the 6.7-liter Cummins, 4th generation from 2013 to 2018. I am going to say something controversial. The 4th generation Ram Heavy Duty with the Cummins is the best overall value in the used diesel market right now. The reason it is sitting on lots is because the 5th generation Ram that came out in 2019 is so much more refined that people overlook these older trucks. That is a mistake. The 6.7-liter Cummins Inline 6 in these trucks is the engine that earned the million-mile nickname in commercial applications. The Inline 6 design is inherently simple and simpler than a V8. There are fewer moving parts, fewer failure points, and maintenance is more straightforward. In the 2013 to 2018 Ram 2500, you are getting 370 horsepower and 800 pound-feet of torque with the automatic transmission. That is serious capability. But here is what makes the 4th generation Ram special beyond just the engine. It is the only heavy-duty truck in this era with a coil spring rear suspension on the 2500 models. Ford and Chevy used leaf springs. Ram used a 5-link coil setup, and the ride quality difference is night and day. For a truck that doubles as a daily driver, this matters enormously. It rides more like a half-ton than a 3/4 ton, especially when you are not towing. I put a customer into a 2016 Ram 2500 SLT Cummins about 2 years ago. He had been looking at brand new half-ton trucks in the $50,000 range. I showed him a clean Cummins 2500 with 72,000 miles for $28,000. He was hesitant because the badge said Ram and not Ford. I told him to drive it for a week and call me. He never called me to complain. He called me 6 months later to thank me because he had put 20,000 miles on it towing his camper and had not spent $1 on anything but oil changes and diesel exhaust fluid. Currently, from 2016 to 2018, a Ram 2500 Cummins with from 80,000 to 100,000 miles is going for roughly $28,000 to $38,000, depending on trim and condition. Real money saved compared to a new Ram 2500 Cummins that starts around $60,000 before you add a single option. What to watch for? First, the 68 RFE6 Speed Automatic. This is the weak link in the 4th generation Ram. It is not a bad transmission, but it is not in the same league as the Allison in the Chevy. If the truck has been used for heavy towing, check the transmission fluid condition carefully. Dark or burnt-smelling fluid is a red flag. Budget $300 for a proper service with a filter change if it has been neglected. Second, ball joints and steering components. The front end on these trucks takes a beating, especially on 4x4 models. Grab the front tires at 12 and 6 o'clock and check for play. Ball joint replacement runs about $400 to $600 per side. Third, the diesel particulate filter and the diesel exhaust fluid system. If the exhaust system has been properly maintained and the truck has seen regular highway driving, you are usually fine. Short trip, city-only diesels are the ones that develop regeneration issues. The Cummins has a reputation for a reason. These engines run forever. Parts are widely available and generally cheaper than the competition, and the ride quality on the Coil Spring 2500 makes it a truck you actually enjoy driving every day. Number 2, the Chevy Silverado 1500 and GMC Sierra 1500 with the 3.0-liter Duramax 2020 to 2022. This is the diesel that nobody talks about, and it might be the smartest buy on this entire list. When General Motors put a 3-liter inline-6 turbo diesel in their half-ton trucks, the market collectively shrugged. Half-ton diesel? Why would I want that? Meanwhile, the people who actually bought these trucks started reporting highway fuel economy north of 30 miles per gallon. Some owners consistently see 33 to 35 on long highway runs. In a full-size half-ton pickup truck, let that sink in. The first generation of this engine, coded LM2, ran from 2020 to 2022 and produced 277 horsepower with 460 pound-feet of torque. In 2023, it was updated to the LZ0 with 305 horsepower and 495 pound-feet. Both versions are built with an aluminum block, iron cylinder sleeves, dual overhead cams, and a forged steel crankshaft. This is not some afterthought economy engine. This is serious engine paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. Why is it sitting on lots? Simple. Most people shopping for a half-ton truck want the V8. They want the rumble, the sound, the bragging rights, and the diesel premium when new was relatively modest, about $1,500 over certain gas engines on some trims, but the perception problem is massive. People hear diesel and think heavy duty. They hear half-ton diesel and think compromise. They are wrong. Maintenance on this engine is refreshingly simple. Oil changes are around every 10,000 miles, and fuel filter changes are about every 30,000 miles. That is it for routine stuff. The 10-speed automatic had a few torque converter shutter issues when it was first introduced in gasoline models, but the diesel's smooth power delivery has largely mitigated those problems. The emission system on the 3-liter Duramax has been notably trouble-free compared to the bigger heavy-duty diesel trucks. This engine was designed from scratch in the modern emissions era, so the DPF and DEF systems are integrated rather than bolted on as an afterthought. A 2020 or 2021 Silverado 1500 or Sierra 1500 with a 3-liter Duramax and 50,000 to 70,000 miles is going for around $28,000 to $36,000 right now. A comparable gasoline V8 model is maybe $2,000 to $3,000 less. But over the next 100,000 miles, the diesel will save you thousands in fuel costs alone. If you drive 15,000 miles a year, the difference between 18 miles per gallon and 30 miles per gallon is over $1,500 a year in fuel at current prices. Who should buy this? Commuters who want a full-size truck but hate paying for gas. People who tow a boat or a camper occasionally and want 13,000 pounds of towing capability without giving up fuel economy when the trailer is not attached. Anyone keeping a truck for the long haul who wants an engine that will still be running strong at 250,000 miles. Who should skip it? If you need to tow 20,000 plus pounds, get a heavy-duty truck. The half-ton frame has limits regardless of how good the engine is. And if you want loud, aggressive V8 muscle truck energy, this is not that. The 3-liter Duramax is quiet, smooth, and civilized. Some people find that boring. I find it brilliant. Number 1. The Nissan Titan XD with the 5.0-liter Cummins from 2016 to 2019. Every time I recommend this truck, people look at me like I just told them to buy a horse. A Nissan diesel? Are you serious? Yes, dead serious. And by the time I am done explaining why, you are going to be searching for one tonight. The Nissan Titan XD was designed to sit between a half-ton and a 3/4-ton truck. Nissan partnered with Cummins, the most respected name in diesel engines on the planet, and dropped a purpose-built 5.0-liter V8 turbo diesel into a reinforced frame with heavy-duty brakes, a beefed-up suspension, and an integrated gooseneck hitch. This truck makes 310 horsepower and 555 pound-feet of torque, paired with a robust 6-speed automatic that Aisin built specifically for this application. Now here is the part that will blow your mind. The Nissan Titan XD has one of the highest depreciation rates of any full-size pickup truck on the market. We are talking roughly 60% or more value loss in 5 years. A truck that's stickered for $55,000 to $65,000 when new is now selling for $18,000 to $26,000 with 60,000 to 80,000 miles on it. You can find 2016 and 2017 Titan XD Cummins trucks for under $20,000 if you shop carefully. That is Cummins diesel reliability at Honda Civic pricing. Why did it depreciate so badly? 3 reasons, and none of them have anything to do with the engine. First, Nissan does not have the brand loyalty in the truck market that Ford, Chevy, and Ram have. Truck buyers are tribal, and Nissan is not part of the tribe. Second, Nissan discontinued the diesel option after 2019, which spooked buyers who worried about parts availability. But the engine is a Cummins. Cummins parts are everywhere. The engine does not care what badge is on the fender. Third, the Titan XD sat in a no man's land in the market. It was not quite an HD truck. It was not quite a half-ton. Buyers did not know how to categorize it, so they skipped it. I bought one for a family member in 2023, a 2018 Titan XD SL with the Cummins, 54,000 miles for $22,500. That truck had every feature you could want: heated leather seats, a 360-degree camera, Rockford Fosgate sound system, 0 gravity seats front and rear. It rode better than any 3/4-ton I have ever driven, and the Cummins just does its thing. Quiet, smooth, and absurdly capable. That family member has now put 40,000 miles on it, towing a 7,000-pound trailer to a cabin twice a month. Total unexpected repairs, a radiator fluid level sensor, $40. Inspection checklist for the Titan XD. First, check the diesel exhaust fluid system, often called DEF. This is the #1 complaint from Titan XD owners. The DEF pump and the reductant heater can act up, especially on trucks that sat on dealer lots for a long time before being sold initially. Parts are available, and the fix usually runs $500 to $800. Second, check the exhaust brake function. Make sure it engages smoothly on a downhill. If it hesitates, the exhaust valve actuator may need attention. Third, ask for maintenance records. This engine thrives on regular oil changes with the correct oil specification. If the previous owner treated it like a gas truck and skipped oil changes, walk away. Fourth, the truck comes standard on most trims with a 5-year, 100,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty from Nissan, one of the best in the full-size truck segment. Check if any coverage remains. Here is the mechanic math on the Titan XD. You buy a 2017 Cummins with 65,000 miles for $20,000. You drive it for 200,000 miles. Your maintenance costs over that ownership period will be roughly $6,000 to $8,000, including tires and brakes. Your total cost of ownership for a Cummins-powered truck that will tow anything you hook to it is about $28,000. Find me another truck with a Cummins diesel that you can own for that kind of money. You cannot. It does not exist. Here is my final take. If you are watching this and you drive a truck or you need a truck, the used diesel market is in a window right now that will not last. New diesel trucks are pushing $70,000 to $90,000 depending on trim. Used diesels with proven powertrains are sitting on lots being ignored because of badge snobbery, mileage fear, or plain ignorance. The 5 trucks on this list will outwork, outlast, and outperform half the gas trucks selling for the same price. The Ford 6.7 Power Stroke proved the doubters wrong. The L5P Duramax paired with an Allison transmission was built for 1 million miles. The Cummins-powered Ram has a ride quality that makes you forget you are driving a 3/4 ton. The half-ton Duramax gets 30+ miles per gallon in a full-size pickup. And the Nissan Titan XD is the most underpriced Cummins-powered truck in the history of the used truck market. You now know what to look for, what to avoid, and what to pay. Next time a salesperson tries to steer you toward a brand new base model gas truck at $55,000, you will know there is a better option sitting in the back of the lot with a diesel under the hood and years of life left in it. If this helped, hit subscribe. I've got more videos coming on. The trucks dealerships want you to buy versus the ones that actually make sense. Like it if it saved you money. Share it with someone shopping for a truck right now. Drive smart, maintain your diesel, and it will take care of you for decades. Take it or leave it. I will see you in the next one.